Hi, everyone. We're the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris.
We have a little show and tell.
Yeah, some Jason Pinter. Jason's
Jason.
new book, A Stranger at the Door, is coming out on January 12th. And we are big fans of the series, so we wanted to let you know.
Yeah, Hideaway is the first in the series. Stranger at the Door is the second. The protagonist is Rachel Marin, who's a badass single mom solving crimes,
Yes.
despite some challenges in her life, like we all have.
Yeah, well, she's solving crimes because of the crime that happened in her family that
Right.
really, radicalized her, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah. And Jason does an amazing job, I think, of mixing some humor. It's poignant. There's a little bit of a love story in there. A single mom dealing with, raising her children. I made that sound kind of negative. A single mother in the throes of the wonder of raising her family. How's that?
Beautiful, Emily. Simply beautiful. Yes. Well, and there's the kids too. She shows her relationships with her kids, between the kids a little bit, and that what that initial crime did to her children.
Right.
So it's a little bit of everything, the family saga, the crime, small city life. It's not small town life, but it is a smaller city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts in Connecticut, then it goes to Illinois,
Right.
territory we're familiar with.
Right, both of us. So,
Yeah.
and we had the wonderful opportunity to talk to Jason about his series and also a little bit about his publishing house, Polis Books,
Yes.
and his life as a father. So, we touched on all sorts of things in our conversation with Jason.
Yeah, and we're going to put a little bit of a clip from our conversation with Jason at the end of this video. But to listen to the full interview with Jason, please tune into episode 121.
Right, which will drop next Tuesday, which is the 19th of
Yeah.
January. We also wanted to remind you about our upcoming read along.
Yes.
I already have some tabs. I'm both reading and listening, and the author, Carrie Arsenault, does narrate the book.
Very cool. Our first read along for 2021. We are going to be having our Zoom conversation with readers who want to join us. And we're excited to say that Carrie's going to be joining us for that discussion as well. So you'll have an opportunity to ask Carrie questions directly about the work.
Yeah, and then we'll have a separate interview with her as well.
Yes.
Uh-oh, dropping your books?
Yes.
And that Zoom conversation will be on February 7th, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll put all that information in this newsletter. And there are still spots available if you want to sign up to join us. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
And there's also an active Goodreads page, conversation, I should say, thread. I never know what to call those Goodread things, but
Discussion thread, I think, is good.
right. So please
Maybe,
join
yeah.
in on that. Even if you're not going to join us for the conversation with Carrie, feel
Yeah.
free to pipe in on the thread.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. I haven't started it yet. I'm starting this year reading some novels. So I do look forward to starting Milltown probably next week, I think.
I mean, I'm finding it's incredibly readable. So I'm making tracks in it. I would say to people, you probably, of course, it always depends on how much time you have and how fast of a reader, but giving yourself a couple solid weeks is probably a good plan.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we hope you guys are all off to a good start to 2021. It's definitely been eventful here in the United States.
Yes.
But we're glad to be in a new year and looking forward to new beginnings and lots of great reading in 2021. All right, everyone. Happy reading.
Happy reading. We are so excited today to talk with Jason Pinter. Jason is an author and the founder of the independent publisher Polis Books, which he launched in 2013. In the fall of 2019, Jason created the imprint Agora, which focuses on diverse crime fiction. In addition to being a writer and publisher, he's also worked as an agent, editor, and in marketing. To date, he's written 8 books for adults and 2 for children. His Henry Parker series includes 5 novels, 2 of which have been Indie Next Picks, and several have been nominated for awards such as the Thriller Award, the Strand Critics Award, and the Shamus Award, to name just a few. His standalone thriller, The Castle, has sold over 1 million copies worldwide in over a dozen countries. Jason's new writing adventure is the Rachel Martin series. Hideaway, the first book in the series, came out in March 2020. Emily gave it a glowing review back on episode 99 at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I just started reading it this morning, and I was pained to have to put it down and get back to work. Book 2 in this series, A Stranger at the Door, will be coming out January 12th, 2021. There it is. And in addition to all of this, Jason is also #GirlDad. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks for having me. I'm not sure which job takes priority there. It probably has to be girl dad. I probably have to say that, but
Yes, and we were, before we all made this official and started recording, we were asking Jason, what #GirlDad does with the girls in a time like this when he has to be on video. And I jokingly asked if they hide their children in the closet when they have to do Zoom meetings. But you're lucky to be in a district where kids are actually at school. So.
Yeah, well, was it about a week and a half ago? I was doing a panel for a convention called New England Crime Bake, and I was on a panel that started around 7:00 at night. So my older daughter doesn't go to bed until 8:30. So about halfway through the panel, all of a sudden, my older daughter walks into the room, sits on my lap, and proceeds to just sit in on the panel with me. So that's the new normal.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We're all adjusting to working at home and being on Zoom meetings. Well, we're so excited to have you here today. Could you tell the listeners just a little bit about the 2 series that you have?
Yeah, so the current series is the Rachel Martin series. The first book, Hideaway, came out earlier this year, literally right as the pandemic was starting. My book tour got canceled while I was on tour, which is certainly something I can tell the grandkids one day. I had a launch in Hoboken, New Jersey, and then a launch in Manhattan. And then I was able to do 2 events in Scottsdale and in Dallas. And then I flew to San Diego for a convention, and literally the convention got shut down before it started. So I tell everyone I literally flew to San Diego for a turkey club sandwich. So that book came out. Thankfully, the readers have really embraced the series, and now the new book in the series, Stranger at the Door, comes out January 12th. Before the Rachel Martin series, I wrote the Henry Parker series, which was 5 books, The Mark, The Guilty, The Stolen, The Fury in the Darkness. That ended a little while ago. So those are the 2 series that I have. The Rachel Martin is the one that's sort of ongoing as we speak. And then I've done 1 standalone and then a couple children's books. And I'm very thankful to be able to do what I love.
So tell us why you decided to start a series with a badass female protagonist.